I want to welcome everyone here today. It's a wonderful day to be in the city of Detroit. The city oftentimes looks at every opportunity it has to assist the citizens and assist those who may need that benefit of opportunity. The state law provides that a person or homeowner who is challenged with the payment of their property taxes has the ability to apply with the local taxing authority to find relief. The City of Detroit, changed the name to the Homeowners Property Tax Assistance Program to allow opportunities to understand there is assistance available. That assistance is being driven by our community leaders, our mayor's office, our city council, and the Board of Review to provide that opportunity to citizens. Each citizen needs to apply every year for the exemption, and there have been some things in the application that has been changed to provide more benefit to our citizens. The great part about it is, as we stand here together, our community leaders, along with the mayor and city council, is providing and is going to explain more of those benefits to you. And at this time, I'd like to welcome our Honorable Mayor Mike Duggan.
All right. Well, I want to start by thanking the coalition standing with me here today on their hard work and their successful efforts in recent years to reduce foreclosures in the city and keep our families in their homes. We had 9,000 occupied homes foreclosed on in 2015. Last year, that number was down to 500. It was a 94% reduction, and it was in large part because of the folks who are standing here with me. And I think every one of them will say the same thing. 500 was too many. And so this year, we're going out even harder, and we think we can make an even greater reduction. The Homeowner Property Tax Assistance Program will have for this year expanded eligibility. People who were not income eligible before may be this year. And so we've given you the information, but basically if you're an individual making less than $22,000 a year or a family of four making $32,000 a year, you are likely eligible to have between 25 and 100% of your property taxes forgiven in this process. And we are asking that you get the paperwork in by March 21st, and here's why. Your summer tax bill will arrive in July. It starts to be due in August, depending on your payment arrangements. If you get your forms in by March 21st, our Treasurer and Assessment Office have told us that when you get your bill, it'll be appropriately reduced. So you'll only have to pay what's there. If you get it in later than that, you're chasing refunds. It becomes a much more difficult process. The Quicken Loans Community Fund has been funding the organizations who have been out knocking on doors, talking to people one-on-one. You're going to get a chance to hear from a couple of them today. But we are committed to doing everything we can. We're going to get blight out of this city, but we won't make any progress if people keep moving out of their houses. And so this is our goal. You've been here. We want you to be able to stay in your home. This resource is here. And so please, follow the information, get your forms in by March 21st, and I think you'll be very pleased when you actually see that property tax bill when it arrives at your door in July. And with that, I'd like to introduce one of my partners from City Council who has gone door to door himself, educating the residents in his district who potentially face foreclosure on all the options available to them. Been a great champion of this program, Councilman Gabe Leland.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And so this is an all-hands-on-deck approach to making sure that residents are aware of their property tax assistance program, which Council last year went ahead and made some significant changes to, just to make it easier for the application process to go through the process. And so, you know, it's about taking it to the streets, you know, making sure that residents know that help is available. And that's really important because with all the progress that we're making in the city of Detroit, we can't afford to take any steps back. It's all about moving forward. And so there is a coalition of people in this room that really help to make that process better and more available for the residents that need it. And I do see Mr. Moore, my District 7 Board of Review member. And again, this is an all-hands-on-deck approach. We have many pastors in the room and community activists and those that are going to be willing and out there with us as we defend our neighbors and promote this assistance program, which is something that we're opening up to make it more available for Detroit residents. So thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for all the organizations in the room that help make this program better. 2020 is going to be a great year. Thank you.
At this time, the space we're occupying today, I'd like to welcome the director, Linda Smith, to the podium.
Good afternoon. Can you tell I'm excited? I feel like I threw a party and everyone showed up. We've been doing this work in the city of Detroit for a long time. Our commitment to giving Detroiters access to home ownership is at the forefront of what we do. This work is needed, and we're eager to deepen our reach with the city and community counterparts. If you are one of the community groups that's doing this work, the PTE, raise your hand so that people can see you. Yeah. Every resident, no matter their economic status, must stay in their home. We do not need any more vacant homes in the city of Detroit. That's right. Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to welcome one of our community partners to the podium. A lot of the work that is being done is being funded by this particular partner, and I want to make sure that they're acknowledged properly, but it is important that the community, the city, and business partners stand together in a unified front to help those individuals that are less fortunate. So I'd like to bring to the podium Laura Granneman from the Quicken Loans Community Investment Fund.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I think there's really only one way to start, and that is with a lot of thank yous. So, of course, I want to thank all of the partners in the room. We have 16 different community groups who are either represented here today or who have been doing an immense amount of work alongside us. So I want to just take a moment to recognize every single one of them. Of course, the Grandmont Rosedale Development Corporation, the Black Caucus Foundation, Focus Hope, Osborne Neighborhood Alliance, Jefferson East, USNAP Back, of course, Central Detroit Christian, Detroit Association of Women's Club, MAC Development, United Community Housing Coalition, Bridging Communities, Southwest Economic Solutions, Cody Rouge Community Action Alliance, Detroit Association of Black Organizations, Mansfield Farm 4-H, and there are so many more additional partners. I know folks from Accounting Aid Society are here, and there's just an enormous number of people who have come together around this, so thank you so much to every single person in this room. And I really want to thank the mayor's office and the mayor himself for his leadership, city council, the board of review, of course, and so many other people who have made this possible. So, the one big thing I would say is, over the last 15 years, we've had 1 in 3 of our properties have entered a tax auction. And that can be really distressing. That is overwhelming. That is a huge number. And it really doesn't engender a whole lot of trust or hope. But today is a day to be really hopeful. And I hope that we can celebrate that today, because there is so much momentum around this issue. And 3 years ago, the Quicken Loans Community Fund put out a call to all of our community organizations to say, how can we better understand this issue? How can we tackle this issue together? And over 30 different community organizations replied to that call. And they came together around a single table, and we started realizing that what we really needed to do was ask questions. We needed to ask more questions of our residents. Why are we not doing a good enough job of connecting our residents with the tools that they should have access to? So we literally went door to door. We hired over 400 Detroit residents, And together, we went door to door to every 60,000 families, all 60,000 families in the city of Detroit who are living in a property that was behind on its property taxes. I just want to take a moment to recognize that feat. That is huge. 60,000 families. That outreach did two things. First, it totally changed the dynamic of the conversation about tax foreclosure, because we weren't leaving a legal document on anyone's door. We were having conversations. We call it neighbor to neighbor for a reason, because we were having conversations between neighbors, someone that you can trust. In many cases, these folks who were going door to door had gone through this issue themselves. And so it was a trusting and an empathetic conversation in a way that we hadn't had before. And the second thing that it did was it gave us a ton more data. It allowed us to realize what the root cause of a lot of these challenges are. And because of that, we were able to then take all of that information and start making investments into community groups that were gonna get to that root cause of the issue. So from there, we started hosting workshops all across the city of Detroit, and that's the 16 community partners that are honored here today. Those 16 community partners collectively have served 3,500 Detroit families in the city of Detroit, just in 2019. 3,500. That's about 40% of the applications that we received, the property tax exemption applications received in 2019. And that makes up a huge component of the 30% increase that we saw over the last year. So it tells you what we can do when we all come together and we start talking differently about these tools, and we start taking personal responsibility out of the conversation. It's not about blame. It's about making sure that people have access to the right information to be empowered themselves, to take action and stay in their home. So I want to do one last round of thank yous, and that is to my team. There's a couple people here today. Sam Woods, who's an intern on our team, Alex Alsop, who is incredible leadership, Steve Ogden, who has been incredibly supportive of all of this work. I can't stand up here and talk about this work without thanking them for their work. And I also want to thank Jackie Grant, who has absolutely been instrumental. So, there is a lot of urgency this year. We need to increase the number of people who are applying for these exemptions. So everyone in this room has a voice, and everyone needs to use that voice to encourage their friends, families, neighbors, and anyone in the city of Detroit to reach out. Call 211. Talk to your friends and family. Ask whether you can apply for this exemption. The additional 25% exemption that the city is announcing today is going to make a huge difference, and so many people are going to be impacted by that. So if you don't know, or you're not sure, or there's maybe, just check. We have workshops all across the city, and anyone can come to them. Anyone can come to the city of Detroit and ask. Just check. So thank you all so much, and I'm looking forward to coming back here in a year and celebrating even more success in 2020. Thanks.
Thank you, Laura. I think it is also important that we hear from our ecclesiastical and church community. So I want to welcome to the podium Pastor Ronald Griffin.
Over 25 years ago, when our current mayor was Wayne County prosecutor, we worked in the community to find homes for individuals that come to our churches. It's a real urban agenda. Churches are only stabilized by stable communities from families that are not worried and depressed and stressed about losing their home. This program is a godsend. And we're thankful for the mayor to continue to fight, and our churches have to do a better job. We have to get the information out, not just to members who come and pay tithe and offering, but those individuals who live in the community that somebody needs to reach out to them. I'm only here today because of this kind of program. This will make a difference. It's much better when I preach to individuals who have some hope, and this program will give them hope that they can hang on to their homes and build neighborhoods. God bless you.
And now I want to welcome to the podium two individuals that this program has impacted. I want you to hear from them personally how the assistance is provided and what it means to them. I want to welcome to the podium Tamiko Hodo and Ms. Joanne Smith.
Good afternoon. I want to say thank you to the Housing Colonial. Look, I'm getting nervous. The Housing Community I can't even get it. Coalition, and I want to give a special thanks to Chelsea and the mayor. I had got hurt at work last year, so I had been in the boot cast for 8 months. So I was stuck in between, like, I'm gonna pay my taxes and everything. They told me to go online and look up. I ended up going online, and they directed me down to Woodward Temple. I went down there. They was nice to me. They was respectful. They told me to give me a minute, come in, sign the number, and wait. They gonna help me, which they did. They helped me. I filled out the tax exempt. Took them about a week. About a week. They contacted me back. They asked me to come back down. I went back down there. They put everything together. Next thing you know, I was accepted. It was done. And I'm thankful. I got my house. I'm appreciable. I don't know what to say. I just want to give them thanks again to Chelsea. And I want to tell everybody, listen, this program is for real. And people don't know. If they don't know, they need to know. And they need to call their neighbors, their sisters, their friends, their mom. When you get out, the word is you have to spread the word. If nobody spread the word, I wouldn't have knew. So and I'm here, and when I went downtown at the city, we met with them about 2 months ago, and I talked to other people. I was calling everybody that I know that was a homeowner that needed help. Hey, you need to go down here because this program is for real, and I'm going to help spread the word. When I leave here today, I am going to fill out my application so everybody know this is serious, and you have to keep going and filling it out, and you need to be filled out before March 21st. So you need to do it now, okay? You need to do it now. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Detroit. I hope this is appropriate, but I'd like to praise God for all the coalitions, the nonprofiters. Without you guys and the mayor and senator and everyone else, this couldn't be possible. So a lot of us, we always wanted to stay in our homes. We didn't want to leave. A lot of people left because we didn't have this kind of help at that time. So now we're able to stay in our houses and stay on top of our taxes because there's help. And everything that we don't understand, they'll help us understand. So you don't have to be, afraid to say, I ain't going down there because I don't know what they're talking about. Well, they'll help you know what they're talking about. And I'm just so thankful. I got a new lease on life. I was saved. My house went in for foreclosure. I got saved with my home. I'm still there. Been there for 40 years. Wow. And thank you, Jesus. Yes, thank you, Lord. And if it wasn't for this tax program, I'm telling you, it's so important. That's why it's important for everyone to go down there and fill out this tax form. Yeah, save yourself. Don't sit back and say what you can't do. You don't know what you can do until you do it. So I just want to say thank you, and I hope this program lasts. It's going to last. Thank you.
Announce that there's bundles of applications for the groups to take with them.
So as we wrap up here today, I want to make sure that we are clear on a few very, very important points. The Homeowners Property Tax Assistance Program is a program that is designed to help homeowners. The idea is that we need to maintain properties being occupied in our community. We need to look at every opportunity to reduce tax foreclosure, and that's what you see here today. A combination of the mayor's office, city council, community groups, and private entities that have gotten together for one particular battle, to help people stay in their homes, to stop the argument of what are we doing, to look for opportunity to help those that are less fortunate, to find the way for those who are lost and give them direction and hope so that they can maintain and move for a better quality of life. The Board of Review is a nine-member body appointed by City Council to help those individuals. If you are struggling with your property taxes, if you do not contact the city directly, look for one of the community organizations that is able to assist you. You can contact 211. You can text 85724 from your mobile phone. The application is available on the City of Detroit website, and we always look at new opportunities to be able to reach the community. If there is ever a question about this process or this program, call the Board Review office, call your council member, call the mayor's office. We look for every opportunity to assist anyone who is struggling with their property taxes. We do not need to lose another resident. We do not need to lose another property owner. We do not need to lose another citizen to tax foreclosure, and we can catch it at the beginning through the assessment process, and that's what this is a part of, stopping any issues that may exist at the very beginning. We do have applications available for our community groups and organizations to take with you today. One last thing I want to make sure that you are clear on. We want you to apply now. We want you to apply now. It is important that you apply by March 21st, because if you are approved, it will be reflected on your summer tax bill. And that is a wonderful thing to see that that debt that you had has been removed and reduced to a degree that gives you foresight and ability to see that you have other things that you are probably other pressing issues that you have to deal with, that you now have room or the finances that you need to drag from to deal with. So please, it is very, very important that you understand this process is available, this process is successful, and the opportunity exists for every single homeowner. So please, your neighbors, your friends that are homeowners, tell them about the program and ask them to apply. Thank you.